Good afternoon. It is Monday, February 23rd. Come on in, type in freedom now. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe in immigration freedom. We believe in peace. We believe in experience. Now is the time to get good, experienced help on your immigration case. If the audio is terrific on your end, let me know that the audio is terrific. Type in terrific. Terrific, terrific. And that's how I will know on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever else you might be joining from today. Let me know that the audio is terrific on your end. It's so great to be with you guys today. Our office is actually technically open. We're working from home today. I see that the audio is terrific on Instagram. Thank you very much. Is it terrific on YouTube? Terrific on YouTube. Yes, terrific. All right. How about TikTok? TikTok. Terrific. All right. Thank you so much. Our office is technically physically closed today due to this blizzard. It is real, guys. We are in the middle of a blizzard, a winter blizzard in Westchester County, and of course, all over New York City, from what we could see as well. And so, our team, they're working remotely today, and our phone lines, of course, are always open. So you can reach out to us at 914-898-9488 to book your consultation with us. It's a snow day here for a lot of us around the country. And if you're working from home too, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully it's your lunch hour. Um, Guys, there's a lot that we're doing at McBean Law to help individuals who are in very, very difficult situations. Okay. Go to our website at mcbeanlaw.com/success to see who we are and what we've done. Look at our contact page to reach out to us to book a consultation. That's just how it starts with us. Now, today I'm going to dive right in and talk about just some updates about the lawsuits that McBean Law is working on at this time. And then I'm going to touch on the questions that you have. I'm not in a particular hurry today, okay? But I still like to stick to the 1 hour if we get to an hour, okay? So first of all, the first lawsuit update that I'd like to share with you has to do with those of you who are from one of those 39 travel ban countries that USCIS has placed an adjudication hold on your applications. We're talking about a hold on that's been placed on work permits, green cards, and naturalization oath ceremonies. If you're in that situation, you probably heard us talk about over the last few weeks that we've been onboarding for the group multi-plaintiff lawsuit. The onboarding has ended. We have closed out the onboarding, and we're working on the complaint and your declarations and going through your plaintiff eligibility form. We're just doing the work that we're supposed to be doing at this point in with the lawsuit, and we're hoping to get it filed as soon as possible. So those of you who are part of our lawsuit, this this complaint that we've put together will the goal is to compel the government to lift the pause on your applications, okay? To lift the pause on your applications. That's really the base, the goal of this lawsuit, to lift that pause off of your applications based on the fact that this is an unlawful discriminatory pause against individuals from those 39 travel ban countries. And so we're talking about countries like Haiti, Afghanistan, Iran, Nigeria, and many others that are facing this unlawful discriminatory ban. For those of you who are part of the lawsuit, our group, you will be getting an email update maybe by the end of this week from me. I'm the one updating you. So when you see an email coming out, it's being written by me. All right. Because I'm staying close to this and what we're doing for you. So just be on the lookout for an email by the end of the week. Secondly, friends, we're currently onboarding for onboarding our second lawsuit against the State Department. This one is against the State Department, and this one is tailored towards that immigrant visa pause that the State Department has issued on 75 countries. We're on board in 52 countries at this time. It's on our website, the information about the list of countries that we're targeting in this particular suit. And so the onboarding for that is going to be wrapping up. I think it's on March 14th, if I'm not mistaken. Go to McBeanlaw.com/litigation, and you'll see all of the information, including our FAQs. We're onboarding, and this coming Saturday, as a matter of fact, I will be hosting a free information session or webinar that will discuss our 52 country lawsuit against the State Department. So after today's live session, we'll put the information here about how you can register for Saturday, February 28th at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, the information session that I will be holding via Zoom webinar. So if you're on Instagram after today's live session, certainly type in the word webinar at any of our on really, I think, any of our posts, and our automation will send you automatically the registration link for Saturday's webinar. Okay, so those are the updates that I have from with regard to our lawsuit. So let's go. Is Jamaica on the list of the 52? Yes, Jamaica is on the list. All right. What is the DS-160 visa? The DS-160 visa application, it's a visa application for those who are trying to get a non-immigrant visa to come to the United States temporarily for something like a visit or for business. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to the questions now. Let's see. Will it cause a problem for our I-130? No, it will not. That's not what a lawsuit does. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's go. Freedom Now. Thank you, guys. Freedom Now. Let's go with your questions. Is it safe to travel on the green card? Yes, it is safe for most people to travel on their green card. Be careful, however, of course, if you have a criminal record. I've been saying that I don't think that's a great idea. It's a great idea to travel if you have a criminal record and your green card. If you're in removal proceedings, you should certainly not travel also on your green card. Do not, just do not. Nothing else to say, but just do not. Okay, guys, double tap the screen on TikTok if you're enjoying this live session. Come on in, double tap the screen, and let's spread this video to others who are snowed in today with us. All right. What happens if you received a notice to create an online account after you've submitted your I-130? Well, nothing really. I mean, you create your online account so that you could keep track, which you should do. This is such a good idea. Keep track of your case. You'll be more plugged into what USCIS is doing. And also you could upload an RFE response if they send you a request for more evidence. So it's a good idea to do the online process after they've sent you the notice telling you to do it. Okay. When are you expecting that the pause will be lifted? I don't have a prediction on that. The government has made it clear that it is an indefinite pause. And so that's why it's so important to be connected to lawsuits that are targeting your application. This is not ours, and my colleagues out there who are doing their lawsuits as well, they're not doing class action. The firms are not doing the class action lawsuits. They're doing group multi-plaintiff lawsuits to get the results for their plaintiffs only. Freedom Now, guys. Type in Freedom Now. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Can U.S. citizens get food stamps and SSI? I'm sorry, petition for a spouse. So Tracy, our government now is making it clear, and they're going to make it even clearer in the days ahead, that U.S. citizens if you're part of a mixed status household, the government now is really trying to squeeze the immigrant in a very strong way. And by squeezing the immigrant, it will also impact the US citizen spouse and maybe children too, long term. Of course, all of this has an impact on the entire family. So, yes, they are starting to draw the connection now between individual with respect to households that receive public benefits and an immigrant who is in that household and trying to make a connection about that individual's qualification for immigration benefits. But more to come on that front. But yes, they are moving more and more closer to that point of penalizing, it seems to me, like the entire household for tapping into federal benefits. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's keep going. Instagram, what questions do you have? Hello there. Hello, USA gal. Thank you for being here. Double tap the screen on TikTok. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, and I am an immigration attorney. And I feel like I'm more than that, but when I speak to you guys, that's what I've been told I need to say. That's my script. So let's stay on script here. Today we're having our Freedom Now Q&A show, and I'm just helping to answer some of your immigration questions. Okay, we're located in White Plains, New York, but we work virtually globally with clients on complex immigration problems. And we have 2 lawsuits that we're now working on to help people whose cases, the cases are paused due to unfair and biased discriminatory government policies that are trying to squeeze some people out of the immigration process. All right. Really need some clarification, please, about the green card. Tell me, what clarification are you seeking today? What is going to happen with adjustment of status for diversity winners? So, if you're eligible to adjust your status, you're here in the United States and you're seeking adjustment of status and you've won the diversity visa. One thing to note is that you've got to continuously maintain a lawful status up until the point the government says yes to your adjustment of status application. Otherwise, you will be required to leave the United States to go to a U.S. embassy by September 30th of the year that you've won. And if you leave and have unlawful presence on your record, you'll be banned from coming back for a certain period of time. So have that part looked at firstly before you make that decision. Diversity visa, the program, as you guys know, is also on an indefinite pause by the administration. Lawsuits are being put together by others. We don't have the diversity visa, we are including obviously that in our 75 country or the 52 country. We keep going back and forth between 75 and 52 for you because most people obviously know it as the 75. So that's why you will hear me say 75 from time to time. But so we're including the diversity process in that as well. But for adjustment of status purposes, just focus on ensuring that you could actually go all the way to the finish line with USCIS and prove that you have maintained a continuous lawful status in the United States. And again, if you're if you're from a country, one of those 39, well, USCIS isn't looking to issue a green card to you at this time, okay, due to their unfair pause. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Tell me where you're joining from today as well as you're coming on board. Tell me, say Freedom Now. I'm joining from Miami. Um, Can I travel with parole? Advanced parole travel is, some people say, not a great idea. I haven't heard anything bad recently. Things have kind of died down a little bit on the travel side of things. But if you're granted advanced parole and you really do need to leave for an emergency, speak with your immigration attorney before you leave the country so that that person can evaluate your background carefully before you leave the country on parole, advanced parole. All right. Let's go down. Um, I see very interesting questions here in the comments on YouTube about, very confidential stuff. Friends, be wise in what you're doing. Just don't put too much here, Um, be careful with the information that you're sharing publicly here. If I see things that I think are too sensitive, I'm certainly going to skip over your question, not because I haven't seen it, but because I don't think it's wise for that to be discussed during this public forum, okay? So let's use some wisdom, okay? And if I see spamming, I am going to put you in timeout. Please, no spamming. Okay, this question, am I at risk, any risk to me to attend my asylum interview at the New York USCIS field office? I can't speak to your individual request. I'll speak globally. I have not heard stories about the field offices arresting the asylum field offices, I should say, arresting individuals or having ICE come there to arrest individuals. It's not really something that's happening. Um, I can't say it has never happened because that would be a lie. I'm sure of it, but I haven't heard of it being like a real problem where it's touched many people who go in for their asylum interview. What you really need to focus on with this asylum interview coming up is what your story is and what facts do you have. I hope you'll have help. To evaluate objectively what your story is and to let you know whether you have a chance of success or not at your interview and what's missing, what's needed, okay? What's needed? Kaliko is asking, is it too late to join the lawsuit? I don't think so. I know that we've still been allowing people who contact the office for the 39 country lawsuit. I know that my colleagues have been sharing with them the link to the form. The link is just not made public anymore because there's a lot of work that we have to do as we're going through all of the plaintiffs right now. But you could contact our office at info@mcbeanlaw.com and request that the link be shared with you. And if you make it in, you make it in. You will let you know whether yours is not accepted or not. But I know that while we're still preparing this, in our cutoff date, I think our cutoff date, if I'm not mistaken, is I think it might be next Friday. I'm not sure, but contact the office by email and someone on our team will assist you further, okay? Okay, when do you expect to do the Lyft lawsuit for the 39 countries? We are doing that. As a matter of fact, the onboarding, as I've just shared, has ended for the Lyft 39 country USCIS lawsuit. Guys, come on in. It's so good to be with you on this blizzard day, okay? Blizzard day, blizzard day. What questions do you have for me on Instagram? Um, Let me know. Thank you so much for joining. All right. I am looking. Okay, let's go back here while Instagram thinks. They're thinking. Just so you know, that's what it looks like on my end, guys, that the comments are slower there. 3 months after, here's one, 3 months after your 3-year wedding, 3 months after your 3-year wedding anniversary, or 3 years after you have been issued the conditional green card. Blue Sherry is asking. So you might be asking me a question about when it's a good time to naturalize if you've received a conditional green card. So it's 2.9 years of being a resident, okay? 2.9 years of being a resident. You could seek early naturalization if you're still in a really good, a good stable marriage with your spouse. Here's what you shouldn't do though. For those of you with a conditional residency green card, and you're thinking about naturalization early, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't say, well, we're going to go ahead and we're both signing that paperwork. Although I moved out 6 months ago, she's going to help me still. She said that she will sign the paperwork. So my attorney gave her the paperwork and she signed it. Although I'm living in maybe another city or state or, just away from her, Don't do that because that's not how you do this, right? You don't do it that way. You have to either, wait until you get to that 5-year mark of being a resident and then do naturalization outside of the scrutiny of marriage. That's how you really do it. You just wait. Or if you get back together and things are good and you're back under the same roof again, then you could seek early naturalization. But don't try to pull a fast one on the government to try to get naturalization early if you guys aren't even sharing a home together anymore. And you know it, you both know it. So don't do that because the government will view that as fraud. And in fact, it is fraud. So that's what they're looking for now, okay? In a very strong way. So don't mess yourself up. Just wait to do it. Or or you guys seek counseling if that's what you want to do. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Um, Freedom Now. Let's see. Thank you for joining today. Double tap the screen on TikTok and let's get us up to 10,000. If you have not started following me yet on TikTok, follow. But be careful because there are a lot of McBean immigration law and a lot of my face out there in scam accounts like other attorneys. So be careful. Do not communicate with them. Do not send contracts to them. Do not text them in the middle of the night. It's not me. I'm not texting anyone, not one person. My family, God bless them, they're lucky if they hear from me by text. They don't. Why would I be texting you at 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night? It's not me. It's not me, guys. It will sound like me because they're using AI now with my voice. It sounds like me. I've heard. Can you imagine? You're hearing the AI if the person sounds very intelligent and it's my voice, but it is not me sending you voice messages on WhatsApp. I don't even really ever use WhatsApp. Okay? So keep that part in mind. It's not me. Um, Anything else regarding our lawsuit, 39 country lawsuit about the dynamics of it? I'm communicating those dynamics to our plaintiffs, okay? Can you change a lawyer and take on those who are waiting since 2021? I'm assuming asylum. I haven't been interviewed yet. Possibly you could have a consultation with us so that we could listen to your asylum story and see if we think it has some merit. And if we think it has merit, we'll talk about ways of getting your records and strengthening your story. But for the most part, it is possible to change lawyers, of course. But we've got to make sure that the asylum case is true and real because we're not going to take that chance. Let's see. Why is the interview scheduled in 2 months after the biometrics? Well, because your case is moving along, your case is progressing, that's just how it goes. They do your biometrics, they schedule an interview. That's the normal process. Nothing abnormal about what you've described there, okay? If my wife is a permanent resident, can she get her sister a green card? No, only US citizens can petition for siblings, not green card holders. Not green card holders, okay? It has to be a US citizen, F4 filing. It looks like I'm gonna have to do this to that individual for spamming. I have TPS from Haiti. Me and my girl are planning on getting married. And she has a green card for 4 years now. She's also from Haiti. She will be 5 years with her green card in October this year. Should I wait until she become a U.S. citizen in order to file for me? She could go ahead and put in that I-130 petition for you with her green card, and once she becomes a U.S. citizen, she could transition your case to an immediate relative case if you're eligible for the immediate relative filing. I would want to know how you entered the United States. Did you have lawful entry or not? Have you ever traveled on advanced parole through TPS? That will help you to now adjust your status through her once she becomes a U.S. citizen. So she doesn't have to wait. She could get the process started for you once you guys get married, of course, because you say here that you're planning to get married. With the reason, one of the reasons why I think it's smart for her to file for you very soon is because you see that the situation with Haiti, TPS for Haiti, is it's hanging on by a thin thread at this time and likely to go all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court for consideration. And also, this government is waiting to push a button. Once they get the green light, they are like waiting. Literally, I could see them. Can't you visualize that? Right? They're so eager. So you've got to do what you can do now to secure your future in the United States. I'm in removal proceedings. I just did my biometrics. Do you think I will get a work permit? Well, what application have you filed in court? If you filed for cancellation of removal, you'll get a work permit. If you, what else? What else? Asylum, you'll get a work permit. The work permit is connected to a qualifying application, okay? And you must obviously apply for the work permit. So it just depends on what your case is. Can I have your phone number? Sure. It's 914-898-9488. And it's also in the bio page on TikTok. TikTokers, hit the follow button. Let's see how many of you have followed so far. 31. Thank you. Welcome, 31 new followers. Let's see if we could get this all the way up to maybe 100 today. If that's possible. I've seen it go higher. Let's follow. If you have not yet started following me on, this TikTok. Let's see. Do I need to make an appointment with you guys to fill out the DS-260? Well, yes. This is your NVC case. Yes. Every case begins with a consultation. Okay. Let's go down. Freedom Now. I see Dallas is in the house. Mount Vernon is in the house. Let's see. Someone has a case, a question about adopting. Let's go here. Oops. Here we go. I am a U.S. citizen. Will I be able to adopt and file for my nephew who is in Sierra Leone? It might be possible for that to happen. The adoption process and immigration combined, adoption and immigration combined is a very tricky process. Contact us for a consultation so that we could walk you through it. You will have to prove that you're not adopting him solely for the purpose of helping him to get a green card. And then furthermore, your nephew's country, as you know, is also on a travel ban list. And my cheat sheet for the travel ban for all of those lists, those countries, I don't even have it in front of me. But Sierra Leone is on the list, various lists. So the timing of this is important. It's not that as easy as it sounds, guys. Like, okay, I'm going to adopt someone overseas and bring them to the United States. Also, the age matters. Your nephew has to be younger than 16, and then there's some other requirements. So we could meet with you one-on-one to go through those process, okay? Is it safe for a green card holder to travel to Puerto Rico? Orlando is asking if I think so. But if you have a serious criminal record, do you want to show up at an airport where we know TSA is sharing information with ICE? Speak with a lawyer about that record, okay? Let's go down here. Freedom Now. Freedom Now. I applied for asylum and two U visa cases. Am I in danger? In danger of what? Immigration allows individuals who are qualified for a petition process to submit that application, and you could do more than one process at a time. Okay. I don't know what your U visa case is all about and your asylum case. It's all going to be based on the merit of those cases. Um, Freedom now, crimes against humanity. Okay, you're taking it to the next level. Next level. Um, okay, let's go. New York is in the house. Great to see you from New York. Um, I'm not sure what that means. Let's go down a little bit. Someone says that I'm joining from New Jersey. I got approved for visas for three daughters. Congratulations. I'm just waiting for resume. I don't know what, okay. Um, I'm waiting for a resume. Are there any new updates? Oops, let's get this question on. Are there any new updates on the 75 countries pause? No, not from our government. You could go to the State Department. You could just Google State Department visa news, and you'll see, the various press releases that they've issued, and read what they have. But it's still an indefinite pause. And I have seen at least one U.S. embassy put out a social media announcement about it. And of course, they're also calling it an indefinite pause. Um, yeah, let's keep going. I wish to file for my mom to the US as a permanent resident. I'm Nigerian and my wife is Armenian. You could still put in the paperwork for your mom, if you're a US citizen, of course. Let's see. If you're only US citizens can file for parents. Now, of course, there is that pause as well that your mom will initially uh, be connected to, the USCIS pause, or hold. So you could file for her, and if we or another firm opens up the opportunity for a lawsuit, you could get involved, or you could sue the government one-on-one. Right now, guys, with immigration, it's all about becoming aggressive. You have to push back. That's just the nature of the beast at this time. You've got to push back. They're stepping on a lot of people right now. And if they're stepping on you, then you've got to really consider pushing back. They're not stepping on everybody, just some people, just some. Can you kindly guide me on the next steps related to what? Um, US immigration at this time is tricky, and you've got to get very aggressive and smart about immigration. I'm going to bring that back. Does anybody remember that? Have you been around me long enough to remember my smart immigration? I'm not bringing back the academy, though. That's not going to happen again. But smart immigration, let's get smart about it. I've got to bring that back. Let's get smart about immigration. Let's see. Okay, so this question from Ronald says, if someone wants to travel from Arizona to Florida by ground, will it be risky? You know, um, will it be risky? Florida is not an amazing place right now. But are they stopping everyone at on the road, who are driving in and out of? It's just impossible for them to do that, It really is, despite all of the threats and all of the changes in the laws, which, by the way, I don't even try to keep up with anymore. I've said, no, enough is enough. Florida is trying to do a lot of different aggressive things. Um, I don't know if it's risky, Roland, for you or not. I don't know how you would be traveling. I don't know, where you're going specifically in Florida. It's hard to say, honestly. But just keep in mind that, they can't stop everyone. That's just not practical, okay? Um, I wish to move to the US as a green card holder. I'm Nigerian and my wife is, oh, I think I might have touched you already. Let's keep going. There are a lot of other questions. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I might have misunderstood what you wrote earlier too, by the way. Um, let's go down. Thank you. Thank you. Any problem? Should I be worried if I'm returning to the US as a green card holder? I haven't done any crime and I'm married to a US citizen. You should be fine coming back in. Green card holders are able to come right back into the United States. For those of you who missed my message earlier, I did announce that on Saturday, February 28th, I will be holding a webinar, free webinar informational session about the immigrant visa pause. You guys know it as the 75 country immigrant visa pause. If you have a case that's been documentarily qualified at the US Embassy and you're from one of our 52 countries that are noted on our website, you can consider joining this webinar or the lawsuit. If you've gone to an interview at the US Embassy and they've given you an exit letter saying that they can't approve you at this time or they're refusing to issue your immigrant visa at this time, you can join the lawsuit and webinar. If you had been given a refusal letter maybe last year, they placed you in 221G and you're from one of those countries, and you've resolved the issue at the embassy and you're ready to go, but your case is paused because of, you're not getting a new date to go back in. You're not, they're not putting the visa in your passport because of this pause. Well, the lawsuit is for you as well. If you're here in the United States and you have a 601A approval or an I-212 approval, and your case has been documentarily qualified at the US Embassy, this is also for you because you are also facing harm and hardship, okay? Because if you left the United States, you will be stuck. You will not be able to get your immigrant visa to return to the United States. So it's impacting the long-term folks here in the US as well. So join the webinar on Saturday, February 28th at 12 o'clock p.m. It is free and it will be for an hour. You guys know I like to stick to 1 hour. Thank you guys. And I'll have some Q&As, questions at the end of that session. Green card holders can petition for children who are unmarried. They could petition for children who are over 21, but they must be unmarried. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see. How old does a child need to be in order to file for a parent? 21. Okay, 21. I think I had to slow down there because you wrote, how old will a child be before filing for parents already in USA? So a US citizen, adult son or daughter who is at least 21 years old can file for the parent, okay? Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. All right. Seeing the same question about, can I change lawyers? Can I change lawyers? And I've addressed earlier that an individual can change their lawyer if they have, if they have a case that the next lawyer can pick up and do something. At least that's how I view it. We're not one of those firms that just take everybody under the sun just because you show up at our door. No, we don't do that. We don't. We know others do, but we don't. We actually evaluate. We actually consider whether there's anything that can be done to help you or not. And if we think that there's something that can be done, then we say, okay, come on in. You're welcome. Let's work together. Um, let's say that if in another year the adjudication pause still lingers, Will there be another multi-plaintiff lawsuit in the future for those of us who will be filing soon? I'm anticipating absolutely the fact that we will open it up again for another cohort of individuals. Okay. Double tap the screen, guys. My husband is in Haiti and I'm a US citizen. Can I file for him now? Yes, you could still go ahead and file that I-130 petition for him. Um, the big challenge that he will face is the fact that Haiti is still on the travel ban list, and Haiti needs to be removed or lifted from the travel ban list, unless an argument can be made that it's in it's in the national interest to bring your spouse to the United States. This government has initially, when the government released the travel ban last year, they made it an exception for immediate relatives of US citizens. And then at the end of last year, they changed everything with different proclamations that now say that we don't think the family base exemptions make sense anymore. Therefore, we're not going to make an exemption for immediate relatives anymore. That's what they did. And so and that's what the new policy is at this time. So but you could still start the process with the I-130 process for him, and things will change over time. I'm hoping that they will indeed lift these unjust pauses on these applications. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. I gotta get back to an upbeat. I need to get into an upbeat mode and feeling. Just talking about all these travel bans, it's really dark and down. So let's go with some new energy. I need it. Sometimes you just got to shake yourself, and let the energy flow. Okay, guys, let's go. Immigration is still open. Immigration still works. Cases are still being approved. We shared a story of approval last night about a client who got his green card in 3 months. These things are still happening as well, by the way. You could go to our website if you haven't seen the email yet with our success story from last night. He got his green card in 3 months, despite the fact that he had some very tricky issues regarding how he came into the United States. So it wasn't a walk in the park with the case, but we're so happy for him. And he's from St. Lucia. Okay, so read that success story at McBeanlaw.com. Let's see. Let's see. For any questions related to who's eligible for our lawsuits, guys, please go look at our FAQs on our website related to whatever lawsuit you're interested in, okay? And again, if it's for the immigrant visa lawsuit, join my webinar on Saturday, where I will answer a lot more questions at that time. Okay, let's see. Can a US citizen, 21-year-old, sponsor his sibling who is a DACA recipient? Yes, it's going to take forever though, but an I-130 can be filed for that sibling. Okay. Philadelphia is in the house. Thank you for your gifts. I received them. I have to find a way to receive them, honestly. I have to find a way through TikTok to finish the process to receive all of those gifts. I just saw your TikTok post. Is it true that if I file for my Nigerian mom and the case has been approved and documentarily approved to go for the interview, will her case continue processing? So here's what the government is doing. The government is allowing people to go all the way until the end. Yes, to the interview, and then issue an exit letter saying, thank you for your gift, based on this presidential proclamation or Section 221F or whatever the section of the law is that they're going to cite or not cite. Sometimes they don't. We can't issue the immigrant visa today. So yes, they are allowing people to go all the way to the interview just to tell them that. Okay, so that is true. You've heard correctly. I don't know who you heard that through. Maybe my TikTok post. It's funny. She's asking me. She says, "I heard you say, and is it true?" I would hope it's true. Would be awkward for me to say, "Oh, what I said wasn't true," right? Yeah. My husband did his naturalization interview from July 3rd of last year. Still haven't heard back about his swearing in date. Is that normal? Not really, Amelia. Normally, an individual who is on track for being approved and getting that oath ceremony scheduled. Normally, it happens very quickly thereafter the interview, unless maybe he's from one of those countries that there is an adjudication pause at this time. And if that's the case, that's what's impacting his case, and he should consider our lawsuit. All right, let's go. Freedom Now. I see some of the OGs, are with me today. Thank you if you're an OG. You've been around for a long time on McBean Immigration TV. Thank you for being here still. Um, Do you look at every case that comes through your firm? Because I couldn't get you. So, do I look at, no, not every case, because we have a good number of cases, which is why we have different attorneys and support staff to help give each case the attention that it deserves and to process your case. Um, but just know that if there is an issue that comes up or a change of strategy, sometimes I get involved in those types of discussions because I want to make sure that if we're going to go in a different direction for a client, that it's completely a good strategy. Okay, so sometimes I get involved in things like that, but we have supervisors who are also there to supervise each and every case that goes through the system. And, now is a good time to get a consultation in. I don't even understand how I forgot to mention at the very beginning of today's session that we're going to have 50% off naturalization in March. Guys, on Saturday, I announced on social media that I got that idea while I was out on my walk, and I just did the video. I didn't even tell the team. They know about it now. Um, Starting March 1st, if you get a consultation in with us during the month of March for naturalization, straightforward naturalization cases, and you hire in March, it's 50% off the attorney fees, 50% off, because I'd like to see more, obviously, new citizens. So March is Citizenship Month. We need more people to participate in the civic process. America citizenship is under attack, as you guys understand it, right? From all sides. Even on Capitol Hill right now, they're considering the SAVE Act, which the House passed, which would really cut a whole millions of Americans out of the voting process if the Senate agrees to it, which I really don't think they will. But they are trying to fast track this, and it has huge implications going forward. So, one of the ways that we see that we could, be more on the side of the solution and not the problem is to make citizenship naturalization more available to people. You might be out there and you might be saying, well, you think you have a straightforward naturalization case. Yet you feel insecure about filing it because of the environment. You'd really like an attorney to work on that case for you. If that's for you, if that's how you're thinking, this might be your good opportunity to get 50% off naturalization. If you have complex issues, however, you're still facing the regular legal fees, whatever we will quote you. So, for instance, if you have a fraud on your record, if you have previous denials, if you have a criminal record, if you have good moral character problems, if you are looking to do a medical disability exemption, if you have any complex issues on your record, you're going to pay the regular fee if you work with us. But most everyone else who have a straightforward case and you're ready to go, but you just want a lawyer to work on that case for you, This might be your opportunity. March, March, March is naturalization month at McBean Law, 50% off naturalization. Let's create more new citizens to participate in our civic process. So let's go with that. All right, so come on in and let's do naturalization cases in the during the month of March. That when I did tell them about it, actually, um, they loved the idea. They loved it. The team. I got all these hearts after I sent that text message after I announced it to the world. Announce first, tell them later, because sometimes people will try to say, "But what about this? What about that? What about this?" So understand the conditions carefully. Let's go here. Um, let's see, San Diego here, DACA with legal time is um, DACA with legal entry. How long does it take for a U.S. citizen brother to petition for me? Where are you from? By the way, that's another consideration. But the sibling process will take anywhere from 12 years to 15 years. Truly, it depends on your country as well. Um, it will. Can you talk about the pause? Yes, I did talk about the pause. You might have missed that earlier. We're engaged in two litigation right now, group lawsuits to help people to have the pause lifted off of their application process. Those at the USCIS level who have an adjudication pause based on their nationality from one of those 39 travel ban countries. And then there's the immigrant visa pause. There has not been any, the government hasn't lifted those pause at quite yet. Okay, so which is why we have to sue them. And on Saturday, I'm having a webinar at 12 o'clock p.m. On February 28th. Did I get the date right? Yes, February 28th. Okay, at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go down here. Let's see. And if you're snowed in today, just let me know where in the country, where in the world, well, not world, the US you are, where you're snowed in. It's still coming down very strong over here. It's awful, actually. Let's see. How soon after marriage can you put in your paperwork? Claudia is asking. So Claudia, it's you could do it in two ways. You can wait until you have reached 2 years of being married, and that way, once the government approves your case, you'll get a 10-year green card. Or you can do it right away with as much evidence as you possibly have about the bona fide nature of your relationship. And if the government thinks that you need to prove more of a bona fide relationship, they'll send you a request for evidence, asking you for more information. Someone says that we need a lawsuit for US born citizens for our cases that have been paused. The wait is crazy. Well, your relative's case, the beneficiary, they could get in. And also just keep in mind, generally speaking, you could also still do a one-on-one mandamus cases. We're still doing those as well, one-on-one, to compel the government to move your case forward after an unreasonable wait time. You still have that option, US citizen, okay? And we're doing those cases. So if you feel that your case has been unreasonably delayed, you've already contacted your congressman's office, you've contacted USCIS, you've put in those service requests, you've exhausted those remedies, and you're still at the mercy of this government, well, you could consider doing the mandamus, filing that, all right? So don't feel like you're completely without recourse. Yes, there are times when a lawyer will tell you you still have to wait. You're still within this normal process and time, and then they change the mark the goal on you. But if there's something going on that could help us make an argument to expedite the case, well, we want to be able to put that forward for you. Yeah, everything is delayed now. Work permits, the I-130s, they're really trying to pause pretty much all of lawful immigration. So now is really the time where you have to stand up together and say, this is not right. And we've got to as combine our efforts and our voice and push back. We're demanding action, demand action. So friends, that's what we're all about these days at McBean Law, okay? Thank you to all the new followers. Thank you for being with me today. Someone says, don't forget about us on Instagram. They see where my head is. I'm okay, so I'm looking this way. You know I'm looking at you. So let's see. Let's go down. Can you please tell us when will we get an interview in Pakistan, the ones that have been documentarily qualified since August 2025, and when will the pause be lifted? I don't know anything about, I can't predict when the pause will be lifted, which is why we're doing what we're doing. So consider that lawsuit if your country is on our list. I don't recall whether it is or not. And the U.S. embassies around the globe, let's just try to get in here, get you some information. The U.S. embassies across the globe, everybody is struggling right now with this new government to keep pace with the change in policies and the pressure that is on them. Okay, so yeah, I do see Pakistan here is part of our lawsuit. You could consider joining. The case has been documentarily qualified since August of last year. You could go to our website, McBeanlaw.com, and see the information about the 75 country pause and or join our webinar on Saturday as well. Okay. My family's visa is approved, but are not getting a call for the interview in Uganda. Uganda is also part of the big pause. Again, consider joining the lawsuit. I've got to give them some TLC here, okay? So bear with me, everybody else. I've got to give Instagram some TLC. The person who pointed this out says, thank you. You should have just been doing both together. Would you like to come and sit where I'm sitting, where you have hundreds of people on each platform potentially? It's not as easy as it looks. Okay. Let's see. Not looking for comments, looking for questions. I filed for VAWA. Was told that I will not be able to, I was told that I would be able to receive benefits such as housing and other things to help me. So VAWA, if once you reach that pre-approval phase in VAWA, you should be able to receive at a minimum some benefits to help you to not continue to go through even more abuse and hardship. I've never really gotten into that level of detail with any client, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't even know what benefits are available if you had gotten your pre-approval with VAWA. And so you'll have to do some further digging on your own. I'm sorry. That's information I've never actually touched. And now, obviously things are getting tighter and tighter with public benefits even being accessible to individuals who have not yet been given a green card. Since USCIS got put in the hot seat last week, are they going to comply with the laws more Or do they still want to just deny everyone? Well, they're not just denying everyone. I can tell you that for a fact. Cases are still being approved. Cases are still being worked on and approved, okay? We see it all the time, every week at our firm. Cases are being approved. I don't know about them being in the hot seat in particular, and whether them being in the hot seat is going to change their behavior. They're still very aggressive. They're still looking to pause most of immigration based on their policies. Um, it's just, it's the nature of the beast, but we are not just reactive, we are being very aggressive now. Change the mindset and be very aggressive. Let me go this way too. I'm not going to let anybody make me feel any pressure right now. Let's go. So, yeah, just so you know. Just so you know. Um, Good afternoon. I'm waiting for a date for my interview since last year. Marie is asking, Marie, what country are you from? Which interview? Are you talking about an interview at a U.S. embassy or an interview here in the U.S.? We might be able to help you. It just really depends on we need more information, okay? More information. Let's keep going, guys. Freedom now. Someone is watching from the Pacific Northwest. Thank you for being vague. Oh, I'm Pacific Northwest. You figure it out. But don't tell me the city or country. That's great. I love that. Um, is the pause the reason why the visa bulletin isn't moving? I don't know if I don't think there's any connection there. Just think about the overall policy intention of our government to slow down and to pause. That's the underlying rationale, right? Slow down and pause immigration. So you push against that, push against it. Let's see. Is it safe to go to a doctor's appointment if you are an unlawful immigrant? Okay, so what this really should be about is what's happening in your city with ICE crackdown. Are you living in an area where ICE is targeting for those, visible crackdowns? Number two, do you have a removal order? Are you on their list of individuals who they are looking for? Number three, are you a known immigrant who has committed a crime that they know about? You have to figure out your individual circumstance in light of everything that's going on to determine what your risk level really is. So, for most people, it's perfectly fine and safe for them to go to their doctor's appointment or to drop their children off at school and pick them up. But you have to know your own situation in light of all of the problems we're seeing around us, because you might very well be fine, or you might even be at higher risk. So that's how I would respond to that one. Freedom now. When is the webinar? The webinar is Saturday, February 28th at 12 o'clock p.m. My I-130 was approved 12 days after the interview, but the 485 is still pending, and it's been 3 weeks since this has happened. Is this normal? You're still in a reasonable window there. I don't worry too much quite yet. Yes, it is true that most times they approve both the I-130 and the I-45 together, but it's fine sometimes when they separate it. Give it a little bit more time before you really worry about what's going on with that case. Okay. Okay. So, hi, Latoya. There is some confusion on my part regarding the asylum pause that USCIS issued. on the decisions of immigration cases. Is the pause only for the travel ban countries, or is it for all of us? It's for all. It's for all. They have paused all asylum cases to conduct a comprehensive review, which means nothing. It's nothing. There's no one knows what they're talking about. To me, it's just not true. It's not real. But it's all, not just the 39 travel ban countries. They did say that in their memo. It's all asylum cases. Yeah, that's what they're doing. If a green card holder, if green card holders I-130 petition for their children have been approved, should they go ahead and file the I-485 adjustment of status? The children are residing in the United States. How would they proceed? Only one child is 21. So here you have a green card holder parent who wants to file adjustment of status for the children. Well, the problem there is that the children are in a preference category and a visa is not available for them until first of all, a priority date is current. And then secondly, what are the children in lawful status continuously? Have they continuously maintained a lawful status? Um, and if it's a no, well, they can't adjust their status through the green card holder parent. They'll have to either wait until that parent becomes a U.S. citizen and do it then if the child is under 21 still, when the parent becomes a citizen, or you could still progress the children along and have their case go over to the visa center and they consular process. I have an interview the first week of March. Where? What kind? Who's going to be interviewing you? Um, okay. Um, does Nigerian ban affect I-485 applications approved in the U.S.? Yes, Nigeria is connected to the adjudication pause at USCIS. You said that your 45 has been approved already, however. Not sure what that means, that part, how that's connected. Can you take an appointment in an emergency case? Linda's asking, what's an emergency case, Linda? Everything is urgent nowadays with immigration. What we consider really, really, really urgent are NOIDs, notice of intent to denies, or requests for evidence, because those come with a deadline, or upcoming hearings that we think are also very urgent. If we could jump in at the late stage to assist someone, we evaluate that very quickly. Sometimes we say we can't do it that way. Other times it just depends on the circumstance. So what's urgent? What's an emergency? But get an appointment in and help us to understand what the emergency is, okay? That's how we will start that. If you're now joining, you should know that naturalization is straightforward. Naturalization cases will be 50% off legal services in March, but you must meet with us in March and hire in March. And if your case has any complexity, we will not, you will be facing the usual attorney fee to help you through that naturalization case. All right. Okay, so friends, I've got to wrap up now, okay? Got to wrap up. Thank you so much for being with me. Join me again on Saturday for our immigrant visa pause information session. It's free. It's going to be by Zoom. We'll put the registration link after today's broadcast, wherever you're joining, and get in while you can, right? And let's have a good discussion on Saturday about that lawsuit. Thank you so much for being with me. You may reach out to our office at 914-898-9488 for booking a consultation with an attorney. Thanks so much, guys. Stay safe during these brutal, brutal times, weather-wise. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.